Fixold Cameras produces step-by-step, close-up videos of simple, common repairs and basic maintenance on classic and vintage cameras. Your ability, the quality of your tools, and the condition of your camera will affect the success of your repair endeavor. A successful completion of the demonstrated repairs ultimately depends on your camera repair skills.
This Pentax Super Takumar 55mm 1.8 lens has dust not only between the lens groups but also between the elements. This diagram from a Pentax factory manual shows the position of the lenses and which ones are glued and which ones are separate. It is very important to pay close attention to the position of the lenses as it is disassembled. Also, upon disassembly, we will find that one of the lens groups that is glued together has begun to separate. Begin by moving the nameplate ring with a friction mat and an appropriate size cylinder. A pointed spanner will be needed to remove the front lens group. Once the lens group has cleared the final thread, invert the entire lens and let the group fall into the palm of your hand. The rear lens group will be removed with a slotted spanner wrench. If the aperture blades are sticking, now would be the time to clean them. With a delicate but firm touch, remove the retaining ring for the front lens group. To reduce the risk of accidentally scratching the lens, finish removing the ring with your fingertips. Now gently invert the lens group into the palm of your hand. If the front lens element does not fall free immediately, lightly tap. Clean the lens with a lens cleaning solvent and a microfiber cloth. Wrap a plastic tip probe or a wooden stick with a microfiber cloth to get into the edges and corners of the lens group. Now begin disassembly of the rear lens group using a pointed spanner wrench on the rear lens retaining ring. Again, use your fingertips to complete the job. Invert the lens group to free the lens element. Next, remove the back retaining ring of the same lens group. With the retainer removed, you can now loosen the lens group with your fingertips and then shake it free. Note the convex and concave side of each lens and lay out in the proper sequence for reassembly. Here you can see the separation of the lens group that we spoke of earlier. Unfortunately, with the lenses still firmly glued together, there is no easy fix for that problem. Remove dust specks with a lens brush, smudges with a microfiber cloth and lens cleaner solvent. Once satisfied with the cleanliness of the lenses, reassemble in the proper order that you have hopefully outlined either with a diagram or by laying out in the proper order. As you lay the lenses in place, they sometimes will not seat perfectly level. If that is the case, then use a plastic tip probe or the tip of a wooden cleaning stick to work the lens back in place, gently pressing on its edges. Once completely seated, the retaining rings can be tightened down, of course, using the same spanner wrenches that you used to remove it. A black felt tip permanent marker can be used to address any scratches or scarred marks on the paint. Don't forget to take note of the proper curvature of the lenses in the placement. If you don't, and you reassemble them wrong, you'll be taking the lens apart again because it isn't going to focus properly. The care and attention to detail that you take when disassembling the lens will make the lens far easier to reassemble. If you get a lens flipped and you're not aware of it, it's hard to tell which way it originally was. That's why it is so important to take notes and to lay them out in the proper order and in the proper position. With the lens elements back into the lens groups can now be installed into the camera lens. Finally, install the back lens group and tighten with a spanner wrench. If there's scuffs or scratches on the paint, of course, a permanent marker will help those disappear. Although not perfect, this much improved Super Takumar lens patiently awaits the installation of its nameplate ring. Thank you for watching.